What do you do when it feels like that you're being asked to give up one thing in order to achieve something else? When it feels like that this dream, this desire is asking you to sacrifice something else that's equally as important, that you feel pulled. You know, it's that feeling of being pulled in lots of different directions, and you don't really know which way to go. And it feels like that when you really start thinking about going for the thing that you really want, it just feels selfish. You just feel selfish. What do? My name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. Your dream is my passion. And in this live, I want to help you understand, number one, what's going on, and then how to navigate what appears to be, what feels like this major pull of one thing wanting you to go in one direction, and your dream, right? Your desire to really build this thing out. But it feels like that, my God, there's so much that you're having to give up. You have too much to lose. If you do this, it's asking you to give too much up. If you can relate it all to this, put some thumbs up in the comments section, throw some hearts or some thumbs up in the comments section, and let me know that you're relating to this. And what is it? What are those areas in your life where you feel like you're being pulled, that if you really go for this thing that you say that you really want, what does it feel like that you have to leave behind? What does it feel like that you have to sacrifice? I want to help you understand that there is another way where you're not having to choose. It's not an either or, but what if it really could be a both and? And I'm going to encourage you to stick around to the end, because I've got an invitation for you that I want to extend and support you even further in helping you bring into form this amazing dream, this amazing possibility that's seeking expression through you. Hey, Francine. Yes, it's a perfect example, Francine, of what is it that you're having to sacrifice. So, you know what I'm talking about. It feels like that you're being pulled into a million directions. You've got this desire to build something remarkable. How do I know you have this desire? Because you're in this group. You are in this group because there's something that's compelling you forward, a work, a mission, a purpose. And you may have clarity around it, or you may not be quite so clear. Hey, Jeanette, talking about what do you do when you feel like that you're being pulled in a million different directions and your dream is asking you to sacrifice. So right now, let's just establish that you have this amazing dream in the form of this business, that you're an entrepreneur, you're in this group. So there's something that's seeking expression through you in the form of a business. One of the things that I've really come to understand is that my business is not my purpose. My business is the way that I live my purpose. It's a way that I live my purpose. Every single one of you have a remarkable purpose that's waking up in the form of your business. And I'm suspecting, and from what I've heard from people that I've had the honor of working with around the world, that there may be points, there may be pushback in your life as you really move forward to build out the business the way that you want to build it out, that it feels like that you have to give something up. And so, Francine, like, you were talking that you have to give up sleep. You're doing it at the expense of your health. You're doing it at the expense of your relationships. I have a client. There's my dog. I hope he's not making too much ruckus. I have a client who has a deep desire to build out a business, and her fear was that it was going to be at the expense of her family. And here's the deal with that kind of thing. That's the stuff that will cause you to drive with the brakes on. And you're not even aware that that's what you're doing. But there's a part of you that gets afraid that you're going to have to sacrifice something that is super important. Your health, your family, your relationship, your kids, your spouse, just your time for fun in order to build this thing out that you're saying that's really important. I love how, Francine, you said it's got to change. And the thing I want to help you understand is that absolutely it can change. That's not the way that you are meant to live. It doesn't have to be that way. And there is another way. So let me share with you 3 keys to navigating when it feels like there's this push-pull between wanting to move forward in this thing that is just absolutely bringing you alive and not having to sacrifice those things that are equally as important. Drop some comments to help me see, where is it that you are feeling the pull? Where is it that you are feeling like you're kind of standing in the middle with the deer in the headlight look of, oh my God, if I go forward, I'm going to have to sacrifice this. I tell you, one of the things for me that I really had to stare down and make welcome, I want you to hear the words that I'm using, make welcome a different way, was I was really afraid that as my business grew, it was going to mean that my marriage was going to suffer, that I was not going to be available for my marriage. That in my mind, I had an image of building a business that required an even greater amount of my time, my energy, my effort, my resources, and that there wasn't going to be enough to go around. I was very much in a scarcity mindset, in a deprivation state of mind, that if I went in this direction, there wasn't going to be enough of me to go around. And there was a while when I drove with the brakes on that I wanted it, but then I was afraid of it. I was afraid of what I was going to have to give up. I was sharing how I had a client who has built out an amazing business in her own right of helping people with the gifts that she's bringing. And she was terrified. She was absolutely terrified that, oh my God, if I did this, it was going to just suck the oxygen out of the room. And as a result of going through and applying some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today, not only has she built out a multiple 7-figure business, but she's doing it in a way where she is being with her kids in the afternoon, and she's taking her family on adventures, and she's got time in her own skin. Now, this is not a strategy way. I'm not telling you what the strategy is, because I don't know what your strategy is. I don't have those answers, but I know how to lead you to those answers. All right, so what do you do when you feel like you're being pulled and all of a sudden you find yourself driving with one foot on the brake? First thing I want you to realize is that desire that's bubbling up inside of you, that's compelling you to move forward on this initiative to live your mission by building your business. And I want you all to really hear that. I want you to hear that your mission is not your business. Let me say that again. Your mission is not your business. Your business is the way you live your mission. It's the way that you are able to live in and bring your mission. And so it's one of those things, if you're like me and you're in this group, so I would imagine you are, you have to do it. You can't not do it. You have to do it. It's the thing that just absolutely propels you forward. Here's what I want you to understand with that deep desire to want to share and serve and contribute with your business. That's not your desire. I want you to write this one down. That desire, my desire to serve deeply, it's not my desire. It's not your desire. It's the way that the universe is seeking a richer, freer, fuller expression by means of you. Here's the thing that I'll say on almost every single live, every time I come together with people in my teaching, is that I want you to really understand the nature of your dream, the origin of your dream. First of all, foundational, to understand that you are this breathtaking being with indescribable, unlimited power to create. It's breathtaking how powerful you are. It's breathtaking the depth and the breadth of a difference that you can make in the lives of others. Now, we all hear this conceptually. You get this conceptually. But here's the thing that I don't think people really connect the dots with. Your dream is the way that life will wake you up to more of that capability, to more of you, more of your skill, the more of your strength, the more of your power, the more of your capability. Right now, an even greater version of you is laying dormant. It's here in its potential, but unless there's something that's requiring it to activate, it just hangs out in its dormant form. Your greater gifts, your greater capability, your greater contribution, it's hanging out. It's like it's sleeping, it's hibernating, it's in its dormant form. When you start paying attention to the desire that's waking up inside of you, that desire to bring forth your gift in the form of your business, what you're actually doing is entering into this deep, reverent, holy conversation with the very energy that animated you, this universal life force that's wanting you to wake up to more of who you are created to be. Your dream activates that. Your dream is the catalyst for that. The reason why this is super important is because when you really come to understand that, then you understand that the desire, it's not your desire. It's not you being selfish, trying to figure out how to do this. Casey, this is for you. I want you to really hear this, Casey. Really good to see you, and I'm wrapping my arms around you right now. This desire that's waking up inside of you, it's not you being selfish and trying to figure out how to navigate it in an already full life. I mean, I get it. Your plate is full. I understand that. Believe me, I relate to that. And this isn't the universe torturing you. Good, Casey. This is not the universe torturing you by saying, I want you to have this desire, but there's no way for you to achieve this. It's actually the universe waking you up to more of who you're capable of being. It's the avenue, it's the venue that the universe uses to help you realize and develop and bring forward even greater capabilities, an even greater sense of awareness, a deeper awareness of who you really are, what you're connected to, and what you're capable of. So, when you feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions, and all of a sudden there's this dream that comes knocking at the door of your heart, and you're looking at your plate and you're like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. There's no room I cannot put one more thing on my plate. So desire, you're just going to have to take a back burner. Or you try to fit it in, and that's when you're driving with one foot on the brake. In order to change that dynamic, the first thing to understand is that dream, that desire, it's not your desire. It's life seeking greater expression, even more through you. It's not your prayer to the universe. It's the universe's prayer to you. I'm going to encourage you to write that one down. My dream, it's not my desire. It's not my prayer to the universe. It's the universe's prayer to me. It's the universe's prayer to you. Now, with that said, here's the second element. Here's the second component then to work with. If that's the case, then I want you all to really bring home the reality that the universe will never ask you to sacrifice one thing that's important for something else that's equally as important. You know, I put it in the frame of reference of your core values. The universe will never ask you to compromise those things that are deeply important to you. The universe will never ask you to compromise your core values. Now, a key piece of this is coming to recognize what your values are, that you need to know what's important to you. Otherwise, you can get like thrown around, blown around by the wind because there's nothing solid to direct you. So get clear. What are the things that are important to me? I know for me, my relationships are critically important to me. Francine was talking about sleep. My health is critically important to me. And my deep desire to serve you this powerhouse that is you, and your dream, Carrie, is deeply important to me. The universe will never ask you to line those things up and to pick what's important and what can be left behind. The universe helps you form what your core values are. It's never going to ask you to sacrifice one core value for another core value. And here's the thing that can often get lost when you're thinking about building out a business, which is why you will often hear me say, your business is not your purpose. Your business is the vehicle for your purpose. And the more you come to understand that, the more non-negotiable your business becomes. And the reason why this is really important is because until something is non-negotiable, you can waffle on it, you can wiggle on it, you can push it back on the priority list. But when you understand, number one, the nature of your desire, which is life-seeking expression through you, and right now the desire, as you are a member of this group of amazing entrepreneurs, your desire is to serve with your business. It's to realize that your business is the vehicle for your service. And when you really understand that, then you'll really come to understand that your business is not a hobby. It's not something that you're indulging yourself with. It's not even a vehicle for money. And I think that that's really, really important, especially for a heart-centered entrepreneur. Because if you simply see your business as a vehicle for money, it's going to lose every single time in the face of something else that feels more important. You are not the kind of person that's going to put money first. It's just not who you are. And so if you're faced with making a decision, do I do this with my kids, or do I sleep, or do I build my business? And if you're doing it for money, the business is going to lose every single time. But when you understand that the business is the vehicle for you to live your purpose, now it stays at the front of the priority list. And as it stays at the front of the priority list, you will then act on it. You will then do what's required in order to put fuel and energy and build momentum with it. Okay, so, and knowing in the midst of that the universe will never ask you to give up something else that's equally as important. So, what do you do when it feels like you're being pulled in a million different directions? Good. I'm glad this is serving you, Quinice. What do you do? Number one, understand that the desire is not your desire. Number two, the universe will never ask you to compromise on your values. The universe will, and I'm going to say that one again, the universe will never ask you to compromise on your values. It will never ask you to negate or neglect one thing that's important to you for something else that's equally as important to you. Because when that happens, the thing with the slight edge will win every single time. And particularly with women, it's usually our relationships, and I would love to be able to say that it's our health, but it's usually not our health, but it's those relationships, as it should be, that become more important. But life will not ask you to sacrifice your health or your relationships for the living of your purpose through your business. All right, so if that's the case, then let's move to the third element, which is understand that there is a third way seeking expression. Now, if you go back to what I talked about with element number one, and I'm going to encourage you to go back and listen to the whole live so you'll get a greater understanding of what that is. Element number one being that understanding that this is not your desire, it's life seeking a richer, freer, fuller expression through you. Part of understanding that is realizing that when you are faced with an apparent conflict, it feels like there's a polarity, there's a duality happening, there's a fight, there's a fight happening. Part of the invitation is to go deeper into this sense of communion companionship and conversation with the very power that animated you. It's this power that truly does know all things. It's consciousness seeking a more expanded possibility, not even a solution, because it doesn't, the universe doesn't see this as a problem because it knows there's a higher possibility. And when you own the desire as life seeking greater expression through you, and you really understand that the universe is never going to ask you to sacrifice something that's important to you, it's never going to ask you to compromise on your core values, you are now literally setting the stage that you are building that deeper connection with the very stream of intelligence moving through you, the very power of possibility moving through you, where you are now moving out of what's the very limiting way that most people think of the either or. I either do this or I do that, to understanding that you're now coming into a third way, a third dimension, that there's a higher possibility that's seeking to be revealed. It's not something that you're going to get figured out. If you are figuring something out, it's you. And you by yourself will never be able to discover an empowering, life-giving way that allows you to honor all of the things that you value without having to give up or sacrifice one for the other. And, and what's the really fascinating thing about this is that oftentimes it's a very obvious kind of solution. It's a very obvious kind of revelation. But when you're thinking from a certain perspective, you can't see the possibility of it. You can't see your way to do it. So when you're working with this awareness of the nature of your vision and understanding that the universe will never ask you to compromise on your core values, now you make yourself accessible to the stream of intelligence that's moving through you and always revealing higher possibilities. Now, there's a way to access this intelligence deliberately and intentionally. One of them is to own what is it that you are to bring forward. One of them is to own what appears to be the apparent conflict and own that these things are equally as important. And then you simply ask, show me a higher way. Yes, good, Kenise. And I would love to have a further conversation about what that means for you. Ask, get still, be in the presence of your vision, because your vision, as you are living into your vision, and I do a whole nother teaching piece on this, and you're living into the woman who's bringing this vision forward, you now have access to a level of intelligence that you don't have access to when you're thinking from same old, same old. When you're thinking from, I have to make a choice. It's either or. And so as you put yourself into this state of being, now you can be in a deeper, more revealing conversation. And you just simply ask, show me the transcended way. Show me the third way. Show me your way. Reveal the possibility that's seeking expression here. Help me move my limiting thinking, move my fear, move my contained self out of the way. Nicole, good. I'm glad this is serving you. Help me move that out of the way so I can see this transcended possibility. Get bigger than the apparent conflict and go deeper into an awareness that there is something bigger seeking expression through this apparent conflict. And then you start writing down, and here's the tactical piece of this, right? That you are physically asking the question. Then I want you to physically write down every single possibility that comes to you. Now, watch the part of the brain that's going to want to say why it won't work. That part doesn't get airtime. Yeah, good. And Casey, like I said, this one's for you. That part that wants to give you all the reasons why this isn't going to work, it doesn't get airtime. You are tapped into a stream of intelligence that knows no bounds. So write down every single one of those answers. And then when you look back over that list, notice the ones that give you the most electricity, that are the most pop. Track those and then start working on what you can do to start acting on those, knowing that this power is always with you. All right, so I got to wrap up. This is the kind of conversation that we go deeper into my Facebook group, Ultimate Life Now. Mark your calendars, October 30th, 9 o'clock Pacific time to 11:30. I am doing a 2.5-hour deep dive training on how to unlock everything that I just shared with you in order to truly let it serve you in your dream. You can join my Facebook group. I put it up in the description. Ultimate Life Now, where you'll get more information on that. It's going to be on a Zoom call. I'm not doing it in my Facebook group, but join my Facebook group to get more information. I also do a monthly mastermind where we get on a Zoom call and you let me pour into you. I do weekly videos, lots of stuff in that Facebook group. But mark October 30th from 9 to 11:30 Pacific time, where we're going to take a deep dive into the formula of how to bring your dream forward, even when it feels like you got a million things pulling on you. I'll give you more information in that Facebook group. I put it up in the description, Ultimate Life Now. Join and let's keep this conversation going. You got a mighty work to do. The universe is seeking expression through you. Let's give you the support to help you unlock and unleash this third way, this new possibility that allows you to be fully present for everything that's important to you, everyone that's important to you, and so you can then bring your gift in a way that will truly transform our entire world. Because believe me, our world needs you, Casey, right now to bring your brilliance. So Ultimate Life Now is the name of the Facebook group. Come hang out. Let's go deeper conversation, and then to get information for the October 30th training that I'm offering. My gift, the only thing I ask is that you make a contribution to something that is meaningful for you. Good, Casey. All right. My name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. Your dream is my passion. Mwah. God bless. Good, Nicole. I look forward to seeing you.